What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Smith Hero YouTube channel. Today we're back working on the intake manifold. I ran out of aluminum making it in the last episode, and this takes a lot of time. UPS lost the aluminum, but I finally got it enough here now that I can finish it. And I guess it's kind of a good thing because now I have an idea, a couple other things that I want to do here. Let me show you first. So the flange, you can see, is not square on the throttle body that I'm using. This is a 102 millimeter throttle body. I figured I'll cut square plate. This will be the bottom of the manifold, and then I can weld this to that. I think it'll be a lot easier just to do that. Only downside is I'll have to drill a hole, but that's not a big deal. The first thing I did was I actually mounted the bumper, so it gives me a general idea of where it's going to be. But the intake's actually going to come out through the bumper right here, because originally how I had planned it was putting everything way down here. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I kind of think that if the intake is down here, obviously from here to here is probably only about 4 or 5 inches. But if you're ever at the racetrack or a drag strip and it's the middle of summer, the asphalt is so hot. It's like if it's 90 degrees out, or even if it's 80 degrees out, the track itself is like 120. So I think you'll probably have 2 inches from the bumper to the ground. So I feel like all this area is going to be kind of hot air, whereas now, since I'm going to be moving it up those 4 inches up to here, about where the corner light is, I think this will be much colder air, especially going down the track. So that's why I'm doing that. So the plenum is going to be slightly smaller, but I don't think it'll be a big deal. All my scrap aluminum, I turned it into a high pressure fuel pump delete and a vacuum pump delete. It's just sheets of aluminum. You can glue them on there. You can use a gasket end sealer on this one, and you can just sealer this one. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I took this plate and I marked dead center of it, and I'm trying to keep it to where it's dead center of the middle runner. So obviously there's 6 runners, you want to be in the middle of it. And I just put a angle finder on this, and so basically right about there, and I need to be at a 35-degree angle. So do about that, tack it in place, and then I can start building more of the intake. And then I think I'm just gonna take this line, original line, and go straight over. If it looks goofy, then I'll do another angle up, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna draw it with marker now, see how it looks. If it looks goofy, I'll cut it out. But I kind of think I want it to be wide because I want the air, when it comes in, to disperse and go side to side. So I think if it's narrowed, not only are you decreasing plenum volume, but you're decreasing how the air is dispersed. I want it to come in and flow nice and even. So this will probably be the best bet, just to take this to there. But obviously that means I got to take it back off, cut it, sand it. More stuff to do. Just trying to get this done. This is the biggest part of this job, so I need to just get to it. Here's the plate. It's going to be down here like this, and do it at that 35-degree angle. I can weld that. I have to finish a couple welds first. I'm not going to bother showing you guys that, but I have to weld the inside up here, and I got to weld the outside back there. But we want as smooth a flow as we can get, so that is why I'm angling this, because I want it to basically be air's coming right into there, into the runners, rather than I have to have like a hard 90, then go straight in, and then have to go up and make another 90. I feel if we have this bend here, it'll be a 45 flowing right up, and I think it'll just be a nice, more less restrictive airflow. This is at the right degree, so I've welded it on the inside and the outside. Now we have to make this top plate, and the top plate I can actually use. This is the cardboard template I used to make the bottom one, so it still fits really nice. And all I got to do is just mark it all the way down there. We can transfer it to aluminum, get it on here, and we can fully weld it out. That way we can weld inside on both and outside. And then these pieces are going to be kind of weird, but you can see there's not only a point difference, but there's also a depth difference. And then over here we can figure out later if we're just going to be doing a straight section or maybe try to put some sort of a curve to it. I don't know yet, but got the piece all cut out, and you can see this is going to be pretty big manifold. I'm pretty excited for it. This is kind of what I imagined the whole time. Definitely excited. Just got to cut this piece out, but yeah, this is kind of what it should look like, guys, when it's all done. Here's how it's going to look. Fits up really nice. Obviously it's kind of hard to do, but you guys get the idea of it. There's plenty of volume in there. It's just a lot of welding to do. I just have to go around, clean everything off with acetone, put a new tungsten in, get some filler wire out. I am welding with a number 7 cup, and I'm doing it at 184 amps. I only have an air-cooled torch, which sucks because it gets hot. I can probably go about halfway down this in total, and then I have to let it cool down just because it's air cooled. Be nice to have a water cooled torch, but this is what I got. It works. You just gotta take your time. On aluminum, on full penetration with aluminum, it just kind of pushes in. It doesn't come through and oxidize like steel does. But pretty proud of it. It looks really good. I had a mess up here where I accidentally added filler wire to the rod, so I had to take it out. It's just because I don't have an even table and it rocks a lot, so I just rocked into it. But for the most part, there's full penetration. I am so happy with these welds. I'm getting better going with aluminum, but obviously there's still more to do. Gonna let this cool down. I'm gonna go eat dinner. We're gonna make these pieces next, and then after that we'll figure out how to do these sides. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to get this thing done in one video for you guys. This side I've cut back. This side is still out. I was originally trying to make a piece that would go kind of like that, but you can see it's a pretty complex angle, and no matter what I did, I was beating it with a hammer. It looked like crap. I just didn't want to use it. So what I did today is that when I came out, I made this piece that'll slide in like this. So what I did was I kind of just had a plate that would match this top and the side, and then so it was kind of like this, so it was nice and flat all the way down. And then I just marked this, took it over to the bandsaw, cut off a chunk. I had to use this bandsaw wide open, so I did that and then took it over and sanded it. So now I'm left with that. Now I'm going to weld this piece on here, let it cool down, and then we'll make the matching piece over to this side. And then after that's done, then I have a pretty good template of the end plates. I really wanted to make them out of like tubing, but it's just too much now. I've spent a lot of money on aluminum. I'm over it, so I can't afford to spend like $80 a cap and then still have to modify them, because it's not a perfect circle anymore. You would have to make a cap, then a tube down, and then half of another cap. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. It's just gonna be a flat piece of aluminum, just like that. So technically we have 4 more pieces to make on the manifold. Still have to weld on the throttle body flange, and I also have to weld on, I got those Nubworks flanges These are good because it's all in one. So I can just put this in place, weld it all the way around, and then drill each hole as I need it. I am gonna have boosted brakes, so I'm gonna be using that. The reason I'm having boosted brakes is simply because of money. I don't wanna, there is one company that makes a ABS delete bracket for a Mark II, but it's pretty expensive, and you have to go to like a Willwood master cylinder, which only has one port, and I want rear brakes. I just do. I plan to drive this on the street as well, so I want all 4 brakes working. So I'm gonna go back to a booster. Zach gave me a brand new booster, so I just gotta paint it and put that in with the pedal assembly, but that's obviously way down the road. Just saying that I need a vacuum port for it. Got it tacked in place. It's just gonna be a time lapse, guys. Sorry. The last pieces are going to be these side pieces. Just got to let it cool down, and then I'll have to grind it flat. You can see there's a little stick out there, a little tiny stick out here. This side will be easy to sand. This side will be a pain. We can make our template. I already have one over here. I just got to kind of fine tune it. But it's getting really close. I've made both plates. They just fit right about there. Just gotta weld them. Have the other side here. I'm just gonna go clean everything up and see you guys in a minute. There it is, one side on. Just got one more plate to do, and then we're done. I'll definitely just show you guys that when it's done, because I'm over all this welding. Look at how much welding I've had to do. I'm beyond done with it, so I'll see you guys in a minute. Ran out of gas. I just need to finish welding this down and around. You see right here is where I was running out of gas. I started getting real bad corrosion. You know, there's like no cleaning. When you're at the bottom of a tank, it's like mixed or just old damp like shit. So luckily that was on the bottom, you know. I'll probably grind this out. I'll use my little burr grinder and grind that out, because you don't want that oxidation in there. So I'll grind that out and weld it. I'll probably take it to work and just finish it, because I only got a little bit left. Now that the intake's done, look at it. I leveled this out, put a little gauge on it this way and that way to make sure it's at 0 degrees. And to check the plenum volume, I'm just gonna do it the easiest way. I'm gonna take something that has measurements on it. I'm gonna do this all in liters. I'm gonna fill it until it's at the bottom of each runner. Because you want plenum volume, not including the runners. And then we'll have a pretty accurate measurement of how many liters. So we got 2 6 liters, so
that's 12.
That's 12, and
plus
then
2.
I just filled it up to 3 because we were getting really close. And you can see we used 2 liters out of that, so we have 14 liters of plenum volume, and we were looking for at least 3 times the amount of the engine size, which is a 3.6. So just divide that up. So we're almost at 4 times the engine volume size. So that's pretty good. And you can see here what I was talking about, where you want the water right at the bottom of each runner. So that way, that's the plenum volume. This is what the engine's gonna be sucking in. So pretty happy with that. Next time you see it, I'll actually have it on the car, bolted on, and then we'll drill the bumper too. Trying to wrap this video up for you guys. Click out you can now, but I know a lot of you guys want to see this thing totally done with everything in place. So I did throw the injectors in. I have some 725cc injectors. They're real short body ones. And good thing I did, because I saw I can't get bolts in this way. So I think what I'm gonna do to make it easier for installation is I'm just going to stud all 3 of these upper bolts, so you can just set the intake on, run everything in. It'd be nice and easy. Exactly what I was going for, just need a different velocity stack. Yeah, so everything fits, everything's just crazy tight. The headlight housing is gonna have to be modified. I do have the whole front end, for the round front end. I just gotta get the lights and stuff. So the next thing on here will probably be pulling the cylinder head, because that's where the majority of the work's going. Remember, because I have to delete direct injection, so that's the next big thing. So engine will be coming out pretty soon, and once it's out, then we just gotta tear it down and do a lot of grinding and figuring out stuff. But give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I gotta cut the bumper down there too.